Hello and welcome. Once again, you are with Doc Sun. And no, once again, I am not on Intensified Anger, my Lex Luthor mentored villain. But I am on Lady Dread, who is my Superman mentored hero. She has got the new power set that has just come out last week, past couple weeks, and I figured what I would do was I would go ahead and go through on a villain as well as a hero in order to show the differences and all that between the two, going through similar mission sets and story arcs and all that. That way you get an idea kind of how they each go. Now, as I stated, she is using the munitions, and which is a fun power, and at least for the moment, just a tad bit overpowered, and you will see that here in a hopefully relatively quickly. And now I did mess with the sound a little bit. Let me know how the game sounds in comparison with my voice down below in the messages and the comments, in order to help me figure out if I need to change something once again, because that sound just seems to be kind of an upward battle for me. But anyway, since I did kind of go over quite a few of these things in around my villain, I'll just kind of recap a little bit here on what happens. So I'm going to click on my inventory so you can see what I have. Now, I did go through and get a few of the things that will be needed here relatively quick. These are the different layers for when we are able to get a layer. But the one I am going to be using will be the bunker layer, simply because bunker kind of, just kind of speaks towards, the munitions. So that should be definitely interesting to see what that looks like. Now, as for the style that you have your character when you start up in the Brainiac ship is one that you would choose, like this guy here with the mustache and the blue skin. You can choose all that. Now, if you don't mind if the styles change, you can leave all of these here for the hair, head, face, accessories, and so on unlocked. But I tend to lock all of them, that way they don't change. If they change, I do it myself, which I think is much better. Otherwise, you don't know what your look is going to be like, which sometimes can be humorous, and other times, well, can, I guess you could say, accidentally look good as you go along. So, like I said, one of the first things on the ship I usually do is hit lock all, which locks every single one of my styles in place, which for me is much preferred. So I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and see what Protostar Blakely has for us in the way of a mission.
Gorilla Grodd is attacking the Queensland Boardwalk. His army is devolving humans to apes, using some kind of tech even Star Labs hasn't seen before. We've got to get in there and stop them before they overtake Metropolis.
Alright. Sounds like a plan to me. Let's get out of the middle of the doorway. Kind of the one of the things that bugs me is when someone just goes and stops either on the stairs or in the doorway. Kind of hinders you from moving through. And then it bugs me when I do it, and I do try to keep that down to a minimum. So let's go ahead and hit J to access our journal. And
this is Superman. I saw how you dealt with Brainiac. I'm asking you to help us with the situation here in Metropolis. With the Brainiac attacks, we need all the help we can get. Gorilla Grodd's army is attacking and devolving humans into apes. We've got to stop them before they overtake Metropolis.
Alright then, that sounds like a plan. So I was going to say, let's go ahead and complete this and hear what Superman has to say. I think they really should have taken a little bit more thought into what your first actual quest giver gives, as well as your mentor, because they tend to say pretty much the same thing. And as you saw, I have skimming as a movement mode instead of acrobatics. If you use the inspired by and choose Sergeant Rock as the hero for munitions, in which case then your mentor would be Batman and you would have acrobatics as a movement style. But I like to but I wanted to change things up, especially considering that my villain, Intensified Anger, is Lex Luthor mentored, and I wanted to show the opposite side of that. So without further ado, let's go ahead outside and begin our mission. Sounds like a villain tried to pop in, which can be quite hilarious. If I remember here a little bit later, I will go over to where the villain base is and show you what happens, because there are times where I've gotten just a tad bit too close to a villain base and ended up well, flying backwards. But anyway, I think what I'm going to do this time through as well is start showing you where your blues and greens are, and those that I know.
Gorillas at the Queensland Boardwalk, but they're using tech even Star Labs hasn't seen in action before. See what you can do about shutting this down.
Over here is usually the first blue I get. Let's go ahead and see what this briefing is.
This is Lois Lane and Daily Planet Live with an update on Earth's greatest defender, Superman. Called the Man of Steel, Superman came to Earth after his own planet, Krypton, was destroyed. He uses his amazing powers to champion truth and justice, and now to mentor our new heroes alongside Batman and Wonder Woman.
Alright, the briefings will give you a little bit more of a background on some of the lore in the DC universe. And when it does that, it usually pertains to it's like somebody decided to hit a car or two, which causes them to do all kinds of funny things. Now, one thing that you will notice is that you'll have these races pretty much as soon as you come out. You'll get your first one, and each one of the three main safe houses, the one here in Little Bohemia, the one in Chinatown, and the one in East End, will have two of the races, and then as you level up, you will find more and more races all over the place. I have no idea what this guy is wanting. Tagracanis, or however he says his name. Have no idea. But anyway, let's go ahead and go to the beach and start our mission. But let me go ahead and change my chat tab to the league tab. That way won't see anything untoward if it happens. So let's go ahead and pop. Before we go any further, let me go ahead and have her face us. Ooh, skill point. Didn't even know I had that. Go ahead and place that, which gives me a little bit more power healing. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. In fact, your first 4 powers, or first 4 slots here in any weapon, will give you a little bit of a boost in damage, in this case precision, your restoration, your vitalization, and your might. Restoration obviously is healing. Vitalization is more for your powers. You get more power back if you have, well, it just gives you more power back. And then might, in which case, let's go back to powers. You got 2 trees, Guts and Glory. Guts would be more of your ballistics, which can be pretty stinking fun. And I like this one here, Killer Instincts. Kind of puts you in a Rambo and Rocky state of mind, so that you do more damage, and you also get back, if you hit certain powers, quite a bit of your power back that you use. I will go through this tree here a little bit later, but this is not the tree I am going to be focusing on. The tree I'm going to be focusing on is Glory, which has more of your energy type weapons, which can be quite fun. Here in Guts, where you have killer instincts, which will give you the Eye of the Tiger, which is your Rocky Rambo type deal. Here in the Glory Tree, it is Survival, which will do the exact same thing. Anyway, you can see that my first power that I have is Laser Net Launcher, which shoots a high velocity projectile that deploys a laser net, damaging, grounding, and stunning your target. Now, it also inflicts burning to cause damage over time, and graviton charged enemies will take extra damage. Now, if I was going to be using this character as a control power, it will restore power to group members over time as well as yourself. But on this one, I am going to be going full DPS, and this power increases all damage by 35% until the hit counter resets, which for most of these powers is usually about 5 seconds. So let's go on. There you go, pal. Now for this first part, we need to defeat 15 guerrillas, or guerrilla scouts, and retrieve 10 invasion plans from them. And it looks like we only got one more of the scout plans, and there is our fourth one. Whoa, do I really want to go over here? Oh, guess not. The scout has decided for me what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I don't think so. We'll take this lone one though. And as I make my way over here, there is a green. Take those out and get this green. Now, if you feel that there's a little too much action right around here, which there can be.
This to shred upon impact, ensuring maximum devastation.
And I would say sorry for talking over during that investigation, but it's only a guerrilla after all. But as I was saying, you feel that if that investigation over there by that rock tends to be in too much of a high traffic area guerrilla wise, there is this one here close by the Queensland boardwalk, which is also the very same investigation. Now, when you complete the investigations and briefings, you do get that does give you experience, which is nice. Okay, so I need one more guerrilla scout and 3 more of the... Oh, there we go. And PowerPoint. Glory. Now we're getting ready to see some some major damage here. So let's go ahead and get the railguns, which gives you 2 air guns to fire bolts at enemies in front of you, dealing damage and knocking them down. Power interactions causes enemies to become graviton charged, making them vulnerable to future fluctuations in gravity. And then while Bullet Frenzy is active, this attack becomes a block breaker and enemies take heavy damage that is further enhanced when at close range. Thing is, if you're at close range, probably a little too close. In the damage roll, it'll activate Bullet Frenzy when used following 4 seconds of performing this and 2 other abilities that can grant Bullet Frenzy. So it's kind of like ice, where if you use 5 different powers, it will grant you an extra buff by giving you a little bit more armor. And when you have Eye of the Tiger up and going, it will restore power to you, and it also refreshes Eye of the Tiger for a short time and increases all damage by 35% until the hit counter resets. And like I said, for the most part, it's usually 5 seconds. So anyway, let me show you the power of this right over here. Like I said, it's very, very, very OP. Now, one thing I should have mentioned is you need to be careful when you come over here to get this first blue, because later on when you do one of the group missions, one of the things you get will be to fight and take out an ardent gorilla, which I don't mind telling you is quite tough. And they only appear when someone has activated that in their power. And that there was a collection. So let's go ahead and collect that. And come over here to get out of harm's way. And we will go ahead and complete this.
Here's some background intel. Gorilla Grodd is a hyper-intelligent ape who hates humanity. He believes apes, meaning himself, should rule. As if Brainiac weren't bad enough.
And I think that is definitely true. So let's go ahead and complete that.
Hey, so you should know that people everywhere can use your help. Usually you'll find them near crisis spots in the city. Here's one. See if you can lend a hand?
Okay, now if you'll notice in the upper right hand corner of the screen there is a map. Your objectives will show up as an arrow, and here is an exobit. Make sure whenever you find those that you grab it. Grab every single one you can, especially during the first couple of story arcs. Here is another collection. Brainiac Subjugator Data Matrix. So we'll go ahead and collect that. And we got this piece of biomech gear for completing the last mission. Gives you 17 more for your defense, gives you 23 health, 6 more for precision, and 3 more for might. Let's go ahead and equip that. And I'm going to do a little bit of shuffling here. Get you there. And get you up here. Yeah, sorry for this. I figured I'll go ahead and show a little bit there as well. So anyway, this one I will call done. And if you're wondering, right there is Lieutenant Harlan, who will give you your next part of this first mission set, story arc, whatever you want to call it. But as talked quite a bit here beforehand, we will go ahead and call this one done. Until next time, goodbye.